Did you know that your iPhone has a feature to protect you from the government? We often think of our passcodes on our iPhones as a way to protect us from hackers, people wanting to access our private information. There's a whole other setting that will protect your phone from the government spying on you, from the government trying to get into your phone when they don't have a fucking right to do it. Okay, I want to talk about this at length because I had no idea this was a thing. I had absolutely no idea. So I made a video earlier this week saying, like, I'm getting ready to travel to Europe. And, like, I've got, a fairly sizable platform, and I criticize the government a lot. I criticize the illegal actions of the government. And when you are in a country that calls anti-fascism and anti-capitalism domestic terrorism, right? What kind of government calls anti-fascism terrorism? A fascist government. I was a little bit worried, like, what if I go out of the country, when I try to come back in, am I going to get into trouble with customs? I haven't done anything illegal, I haven't done anything wrong. Everything I do is above board. I organize in public. I advocate for upholding our constitutional rights and for nonviolent resistance against authoritarianism. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be targeted, right? Hassan Piker got delayed. Multiple other social media creators have experienced issues coming back into the United States. Not leaving, but coming back in. Now, as an American citizen, I know that they can't stop me from entering the country, but they can keep you in a room and they can give you a hard time for many hours. But more than that, they can take your phone and they can confiscate it, which is not something that they were doing previously, but I heard from some immigration attorneys, I featured in a video earlier this week, that they will now take your phone and they will try to hack into it, basically using all of that Israeli software that they've purchased, Celebrite or whatever it's called. Celebrate. I had to go look it up. Sorry, you guys. It's been a long day. Okay, so I asked my audience, like, what should I do? Should I take a burner phone, or should I take, this is my work phone. It doesn't have a SIM in it. I just film on it. Sometimes I film on my real phone, but this is really pared down. There's not very much on it. And folks said, well, you should get an eSIM and take this phone. And I was like, okay, I will do that. But I'm still concerned about the fact that coming into the United States, they could give me a hard time, take my phone. And then the way this software works is that they don't need your access code at all to get into your phone, to violate your rights, right? To get in and search your banking apps, to search Google Maps, to search your private chats. What they do is this software, they plug in your phone and it allows them to just, right, suck the information off of it. When I learned that, I was like, well, that's some bullshit, right? Our privacy rights are being violated left and right, all over the place. It's worth reminding people that Kamala Harris wanted the most extensive privacy protections for Americans, both to make sure that your personal privacy was protected, right? Your rights were protected, also to make sure that corporations were not harvesting your data, your intellectual property, your private information for profit off the internet, right? Kamala Harris wanted protections for us, the people, from the government and also from corporations. And now we live in an era where both are violating our rights. All of these massive AI data centers run by Amazon Web Services, run by Palantir, run by ChatGPT. Meta is now looking to get into it, right? They're all about government surveillance. They want a police state because they don't have a pathway to make AI profitable. They don't have a pathway to make any of their business models profitable without using taxpayer resources and without using us and our freedom and our data, which should belong to us, not to these corporations, without using all of that and exploiting it for profit. They want to make us less free. They want unfreedom so that they can enrich them. These are billionaires who have more money than they could spend in 10 or 100 lifetimes, and they're never satisfied. They want to take away your basic privacy rights, your basic freedoms, so that they can have even more piles of gold for their dragon hoard. I don't understand it. Sorry, I didn't mean to pop off there, but it just breaks my brain a little bit every time I think about these men and their endless, insatiable greed, right? How much they're perfectly happy trampling on the rights of people. Like, we're just trying to live. Like, just fucking let us live, man, right? You don't need another $1 billion so that you can do what with it while we have our lives shrunk down. We have our freedoms shrunk down to just an untenable level. Okay, so I'm looking at coming back into the States and I'm thinking, what can I do to protect my phone from data extraction? That's what it is, warrantless data extraction. These guys will continue to violate our privacy rights until we decide to hold them accountable. by the way. The Department of Injustice is not going to hold them accountable. It's up to us to make sure that in the time to come, when the Republicans are out of power, that all of these actors who have violated our rights are held accountable. And then not only that, but that we have got to have sweeping reforms, policy change that protects our privacy rights from both corporations and from the government. Again, we are private citizens. Government officials are public servants. The way everything is turned on its head, we have an expectation of privacy. ICE agents don't. They need to uncover their faces, have their badge number, tell us their name. That is the basic expectation of a public official. A public servant in our government should have disclosure of their materials, of their work product, right? And instead they're trying to hide their chats. Remember, one of the first scandals of this regime was WikiLeaks. The reason he's called WikiLeaks Pete, right, is because they were having all of these conversations that were supposed to be public record. They were supposed to be able to be searched by FOIA requests. They're trying to have all these chats in secret signal groups so that they would not face accountability. Public servants, private citizens, it's a mantra we should be saying over and over again. Remember, it's topsy-turvy. The expectation is that we have privacy rights. Public servants are answerable to us. We are not answerable to the federal government when it comes to our own personal fucking lives. We have an expectation of privacy. I cannot count the number of times that this regime has violated the Privacy Act of 1974 since January of 2025. If don't make it into a drinking game to take a shot every time you find that Trump has violated the Privacy Act of 1974. Okay, so as we're looking at this potential for data extraction from our phones, someone would say, well, what are you worried about? What do you have to hide, right? If you aren't doing anything illegal, then why would you be concerned that the government might take your phone, your work phone, which they have no right to steal your possessions, and then strip all of the information off of it? Well, look at what happened in Texas. We are seeing a regime, again, they think anti-fascism is domestic terrorism. They think free speech should be criminalized. They want thought crimes in this country. A gentleman in Texas got 30 years for moving a box of zines talking about mutual aid and community organizing. They're weaponizing everything they can. The case in Minnesota with the community organizers there, they're using their signal chats. I don't know what's in them, but they're using that as proof of some kind of like ring of whatever narrative they're crafting is going to be complete bullshit. There is no expectation that the Department of Justice will be truthful. We already know, like, Jeanine Pirro has had so many cases dismissed in DC because they lie to grand juries, they lie in front of judges. There is no trust with the Department of Injustice that they will do the correct and legal thing with any information that they get. They are hell-bent on violating your rights, and they're hell-bent to make an example out of anybody who wants to stand up for democracy and stand up for their communities in entirely legal ways. Jeanine Pirro is prosecuting a two-time Olympian for touching the reflecting pool because Donald Trump is big mad that he and his buddies done fucked it up and caused the lining to come up off the bottom. They've manufactured a whole narrative that was vandalism, and they're trying to blame it on an Olympian. Like, this is the level of fucked upness, and like, I know it's cringe and embarrassing, but it's real. These are people's real lives, and they have no problem destroying your life to uphold the narrative that pleases dear leader. Please understand what's going on. So no, you can have nothing to hide. You can do everything legal. The government does not have a right to your information, and you cannot trust that they will use it responsibly and that they will be truthful with it. Shout out to my subscribers who alerted me to 404 Media's piece about Hannah Nathanson, who is the Washington Post reporter who had her office raided by Trump's Department of Injustice. They could not get into her phone because she had it set to lockdown mode. Apple created lockdown mode in 2022 to protect you from the government illegally accessing your data. They can't plug a device in and suck everything off. They can't get into your phone if it's in lockdown mode. If you are part of the resistance against fascism, if you are traveling, if you think it's necessary, go into privacy and security, scroll down to the bottom, the very bottom, there is a feature called lockdown mode. Turn it on. Again, go into system settings, scroll down until you see privacy and security, then scroll down again all the way to the bottom until you see lockdown mode. Click on that, and it will open up a screen that explains to you all of the limitations on lockdown mode. And then you want to scroll down to the bottom, turn on lockdown mode, and then you turn it on and restart your phone. And then let's decide we're fed up of living in a country where you have to have a lockdown mode on your phone so the government doesn't spy on you.